searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless. A sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great.
Hi, welcome race fans. We're here tonight, Lucas Oil Speedway for the Fire Kings Motorsports Crooked Line Racing. And this is the super late models here tonight. These guys are gridding it up. About to go racing here. See, we've got like Bradley Yo going to be the man on point. Carroll there in second, which Carroll won last week, so we might have to start in the back.
I'm here.
Oh, Alex is back now. What's up, Alex?
Hey.
Did Carroll win last week?
No.
Yeah, Chris Carroll won last week. Zimmerman won last week, didn't he?
I don't think Carroll was in the top 3 last week.
Right, I think Zimmerman won last week. Here's what I know.
Zimmerman, Pierce, and Pittman.
Ah, okay. Well, Zimmerman's got to start in the back. Good news is, well, bad news is he starts in the back. Good news is he ain't got very many cars to come through the field tonight. You got Bradley up front. Good starting spot for him. Jason Raymond there. Chase Pierce. Sexton. Coffey. Larry Bell. Brad Carpenter. Gotti Stevens and Tanner. Top 10. Talking to some of the guys before the race here, and they were talking about track a little slick.
Well, I think because it used to be a dirt track, Joe.
It still is. Ever figured that out?
No way.
Investigative reporting on it?
Nah, I'm trying.
Anybody out in the chat? We're out here trying to figure out, and I can't remember. I know there is a dirt track, Lucas Oil, and then there's the drag strip, Lucas Oil. But is this oval still in existence today? Because, you know, some of these tracks, short track that is, on iRacing, there's not around. I mean, like Myrtle Beach, we know that's one recently, not around real. USA, kind of a fictitious style track. Looks like Bradley Yo just disconnected. Ow. Oh, now he's back. Oh, connection problems there, but so we know some of the tracks here on iRacing are, you know, not in existence.
Here on their website, they've got a dirt track. This track they call Lake Lucas, which they race boats on.
What? Yeah, okay.
Which I don't
do
think
boat
is
racing.
the one we're at.
We're gonna do boat racing.
They have an off-road track for, I guess, those like off-road endurance truck kind of races, you know? And then a go-kart track.
Like I say, this one could have been turned into a dirt. I don't think the asphalt's around anymore, and I think that's kind of the thing that, you know, obviously there is a lot of tracks. You already see Chase up into the wall there. Probably something we're going to see a little bit tonight if you stay up there on that top side too long. But yeah, I mean, just to, you know, clarify some on that. I think as far as this track is one of those, and Chase gets bumped in the back and goes around. At least he didn't hit anything. Caution out. Coffee got in the back of him. Little bump. Already kind of loose here on old tires.
Just a tad. Chris Carroll's making it work on the outside, though.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looked like a lot of guys were way up there on that kind of top side. Usually we see, you know, the low line's place to be. But maybe it's, you know, right now, early, top side.
I mean, that could be the case.
Yeah, I'm not really, and I'm not 100% familiar with how well this track drives, you know. So, not kind of up to speed on that one. Kick off the 4 mods next week here for the Five Kings Motorsports Crooked Line Racing. Kick that off as we're a little bit past halfway here in the season here in the late models. Been a pretty good season so far. Got some good tracks coming.
I don't think it's as runaway in the points either as it was at this point last season.
Well, and you know,
it's a bit closer.
And normally we talk about Chris Carroll a lot. Obviously, he's up front, but he's not dominated as much this season. I mean, sure, he's been up front, you know, always been there, but, you know, last season it was just like pure domination about every track here. It's not been that way. So I think that's kind of made those points a little bit tighter. Trying to find what the point.
Right, because if I pull it up right
Pull
here
the points up at.
in the Discord on Monday night SLM, you just scroll up a little bit. Jason Raymond posted it on the 4th. So it's
Yeah,
Chris
I mean, you're
Carroll
only talking about
up
11 point difference between Raymond and Carroll.
and then 1 from him to 3rd place, Brian Zimmerman.
Yeah. I mean, sure, Carroll's sitting there with 3 wins. I mean, you know, relatively awesome. but it's those bad finishes and all that Carroll's had. Made it so close. And you still got Zimmerman, like you said, right there. And Chase Pierce, he could turn the season around. He doesn't need what just happened to him here in order to turn the season around. He's still not out of it. What they don't need, though, is Carroll to keep winning. Stay with him. And Raymond's doing what he needs to do. It's the yo right there. Actually, Raymond's on him. Raymond's doing what he needs to do. Keep Carroll honest. Stay right there on his back bumper. Stay near him. So the race in and race out.
Right. A lot of these guys are doing what they need to do, especially in this front group. Like Yo's been hanging up front for a good past couple races. He's notably been up front. And I mean, you got Jason Raymond here, Alex Coffey right behind him, Joshua Sexton, some of those guys that are always up there. But they're doing what they need to do with being consistent and whatnot. And Chase, it seems like no matter what adversity becomes of him in the early stages of the race, he usually seems to overcome it.
Brian Howell Horo just loops it like a little bit. That's kind of a product of just a little bit too much throttle coming out of the turn, not letting the car get kind of straight before you get back on the gas. And that can happen at tracks like Martinsville. New Hampshire is another one that really is bad on. Come out of turn 4 or something if you don't get it kind of straight. Get that gas too soon, it's going to bring it right around. Raymond was able to get around Yo there to get up to second, so he's going to be up here and maybe see if he can get battle with Carroll, like we're talking. I got to give a shout out to Tanner out here. He's driving with a new wheel. I got him a direct drive wheel. So if he can't step up with the big boys with the high priced equipment. I know he was trying to get it set up right. I mean, it is a night and day difference. Gotta get that thing set up right the way you feel and so forth. Up to 8, he's had it up and down. I always say, don't wreck. He says, oh, you always jinx me.
Well, you got Kelly out there keeping me honest, because I was looking up Lucas Oil Speedway, and this is Lucas Oil Raceway, and I found a lot more about it, Joe.
Okay. Still open. It's in it. Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, so Lucas Oil Drag Strip, Indianapolis, obviously. Yeah. Okay, so if it is, then this one sits probably right there near where Indy is, basically, because that's where the drag strip is. It's right next to it, so it's okay. I wasn't sure, Eric Kelly. We were just going off Lucas Oil, which
they have
probably is the best sponsor back.
Right at looking at this overhead, they got the oval, which is inside the road course, which they don't use anymore, and then across the way just a touch is the drag strip, I think you're talking about.
Right. Now you're talking about road course inside this track, or are you talking about Indy?
No, this oval is inside the road course. Like, there's a road course around this oval, but this oval is still its own standing thing.
Yeah, I thought you was talking about the Indy road course. Now, but Indy should be close to where the drag strip is also. I think they're all like, it's almost like it is here in Charlotte. Charlotte, you got the drag strip, you got the dirt track, and it used to be Concord's asphalt there, which they just sold it, and then across the street it's, obviously NASCAR. That's kind of how it is. Got green. And Raymond's got Yo right there with coffee. And looks like you might have that preferred line on the inside. Well, I say that, but I think that outside lane tonight's kind of a little bit faster.
Right, these guys on top are making it work out pretty well for them. I mean, you can see right here, perfect example of a caution.
Scotty Stevens. See what happened to him back here. He's in that black number 2 machine. And same thing. Looped it and then came across the nose there. Chase just can't get out of the way of trouble. Tonight it seems like it finds him somewhere.
That always seems to be the case, but he usually bounces back pretty well.
I think he will. You know, one thing we talk about too is as long as you don't have any like motor damage or wheel damage or any cosmetic style damage, you can get away with here on short tracks. You know, aerodynamics doesn't play a huge factor. You know, just a little bit, but it's nothing that, you know, like big track would have to have. So, like I said, as long as you don't have any like motor or wheel or anything like that, then you should be okay. We appreciate you looking that up for us, Kelly, because you know, I wasn't 100% sure.
Right, because obviously I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, Alex up here, he tries, but
I mean, I drop the ball 8 times out of 10, but on those 2 times I don't, I sure take it away.
well, caution 3 here tonight. Already seen in the 2 cautions there that how tricky it is to get off the turn here at this track.
And it seems like it's only in the front stretch coming off of 4. I haven't seen as much off of 2 coming out of the back stretch.
Yeah, and the way what's happening is, you know, you've seen it there, is basically it's a product of you just getting back on the throttle a little bit too soon, or giving too much throttle too soon, and just looping it all around. Track like this track's not 100% flat, but it's flat enough that when you come out of those turns, you've got to get this thing, you know, squared up straight. You know, the terminology we use in road racing a lot is you don't get back on the gas coming out of a turn until the car's almost going straight coming out of the turn. And to understand that, you'd have to be good. A lot of people be like, "Go, ain't the car straight anyway?" No, you can't be turning at all, or you can't be, you know, still in the process of the turn. You need to be pretty much in the process of going straight with it, coming out of it, where you get back in the gas. And you know, it's a driver science, and it's kind of interesting here tonight here, Alex. As you see in this high lane work, we're used to seeing the low lane, and it's all right there. Carroll took the high lane because normally we would see the leader go down low.
Right, and these turns have 12-degree banking from what I just was reading about this a little bit. So, I mean, obviously it's enough to throw you through a little loop, but I don't know. Now that Raymond's on the inside of this front...
Straightaway. Looks like it's banked a little.
It's got something.
It look, yeah. I mean, and sometimes, like I say, coming out of the turn, if it's not a lot of banking coming out of the turn, it could, kind of. That's another thing that can throw you because of transition there. So we're back green. See Coffee and Yo going to do a little bit of tagging door to door. Coffee right there in his Lexus Mobile. Texas man on Five Kings is right behind him, Joshua Sexton. Yo kind of just falling off the pace a little bit. That behind him, that's Brad the Carpenter. Look at old Pierce firing back up here.
Tanner right behind him with Larry Bell.
Oh, right there, Tanner just got that thing all kind of sideways. Another thing too, you know, I talk about, you know, getting it straight, throttle input. You can also put too much wheel into it too. I mean, you know, you've got, you know, the wheel cranked. Whatever, let's ride along here with Tanner and see if he's fighting it or anything. I imagine he is a little bit. And that's probably why they're going high. Usually if it's really slick, you'll see those cars want to push up the track. And if you stay up to the high side, like this right here, that looks like the car kind of pushed right there a little bit. At least to the wall. But if you stay up kind of high, it's a lot easier to drive. If he was maybe to try to pinch this thing down low, I bet you anything he's going to have to put more wheel into it, and then it's going to lose grip coming out of the turn. It looks pretty smooth right there, though.
Yeah, I think the best thing you could do is just try and hit your personal marks each time and just kind of keep it smooth. And like, there's a saying that I've heard a lot: slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And that definitely can go to show.
Man, battle for the lead
right here with Carroll right in front of him.
Yeah, so let's watch. Now, you know, I was talking about when you go down low, how much more wheel you're going to have to put into it, and see how much he has to fight it, because that thing's going to want to get really wiggly on him coming off the turn. It was a little dark on us, but yeah, he's having to put a huge amount of wheel. And also, you know, we hear drivers talk about my car's loose in, tight off. I'm seeing that right there just by the way they're driving. It looks like they're going in, they're turning the wheel, and it's tight going in but loose coming off. And there's really, I'll be honest with you, Alex, there's really nothing. I mean, they can't do anything anyways because it's fixed setup. But even if it was an open setup, there's nothing you really can do to fix that, even in real racing, other than maybe back the turn up, or, you know, slow in, like say slow in, fast off. You got to adjust some driving. But right now, Raymond is definitely crawling all over the back end of Carroll.
Right, and just there from his helmet driver point of view, whatever you want to call it, it looked like he would be able to get down there. He just wouldn't be able to hold it down on that line. His car wanted to shoot up there. And I think that's why a lot of these guys are more comfortable in that middle to high line that we've been seeing them run all night.
Yeah, and that's that tight feeling. You know, it gets down there, you think the car's going to hold, but then it just wants to climb straight up the track. That's a push. Even in iRacing actually has done very well. I know you've heard this term, aero push. Basically, you get up back of a car, like where Raymond is, and it tends to want to push the nose of the car up the track. Can't turn the wheels, but it still wants to keep going straight. And the only way to fix that is obviously, you know, get out of the throttle sooner. Problem is it's going to slow you down. You just can't make up that ground. That it's like a wall. You just can't make up that small little ground to the car in front of you. And we've heard that term before, and real racing too is here. And you're going to see him going to try it again, but he can put his nose there. Now, the biggest thing here too, Alex, by him doing this, he's going to keep Carroll honest. Maybe window drive and hopefully make a mistake if Raymond don't wreck him.
Right, and I mean, I don't think we'll see anybody really kind of try to, I guess, pinching someone up against the wall.
No.
Unless
he drives it in hard. Yeah, unless he drives that thing in hard and it just shoots straight up the track and then he kind of doors him, that would be the only way.
And you got Chase right there, back up to fourth.
Oh, Coffee. Yeah, Chase, you're right. Chase on the move, and then Coffee into the what?
Whoa!
Are you kidding? You got to go back on the replay and watch that again, because Coffee made the move for the pass. We saw Raymond
Yeah,
get in the
that
wall there in front, which allowed Coffee to go around, and then Coffee, for some reason, had an affair with the wall here. See Raymond right there. Oh, Raymond just got it, and poor Chase. I'm gonna tell you what, I just can't get a break. That was a weird thing there. I think from what I saw there, obviously Raymond got in the wall. Coffee got to run, got around him, and like Raymond might have got a run coming off the turn, or Coffee when he made the pass. The car just had he had to slow up just a little bit, and those two just tangled. Unfortunate because that was two fast machines. Again, good news is they got enough time to get it back right, come back to the front.
Right now,
Carroll's loving this.
I mean, he's just gonna keep doing his thing up there.
Yeah. He's loving it. Guys, keep themselves out.
I'm just gonna keep cruising.
No.
I ain't even worried.
And and that's one thing I think that separates Carroll from a lot of the rest is the smoothness. Not saying he can't get aggressive or anything, but so smooth, and he doesn't find himself in trouble a lot.
No, usually he's good at
Yeah.
keeping his mistakes low.
There you go. Yeah. Pierce seems like he's just got a bullseye on him. Every time he turns around, he's right there in every incident. But he's still up there, though.
He's like a magnet for attention.
Yes. You're right, Kelly. Another one with some bad lighting. At least this one's a little bit lit up than the one we had a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that one was straight. Like, I needed night vision goggles for that one.
Yes. Bad. Carroll out front. I think, like I say, with Raymond and Coffee, I think they'll be okay. Long as it didn't hurt none of the suspension or anything. You see the fenders crunch there a little bit. I think they'll be okay. We'll see if they're able to bring it back to the front. Does put Pierce and Joshua Sexton top three. Yo's been hanging on right there in fourth. The Carpenter hit. Tanner's back there in sixth. And the one thing about this is, if you're in a bad track, let's say you're struggling, Tanner said he is, just try to stay out of trouble and let attrition play its role. I think if it does, if it keeps going on up here up front like it is, Tanner might end up top three before it's over with.
I mean, he might.
Yeah.
Survival of the fittest.
I've done it. I've had tracks where it's like, can't get around this place. I'm going to just ride. I'm back in 15th spot. Next thing I know, by the end of the race, I'm up to finish 7th, 8th, or 6th. Just because, guys keep wrecking it and I'm able to avoid it. Done it, and instantly Washington flies Coffee again back here. Frank Barb and Coffee finds the wall, and that is not where you park, or
We do not condone the barrel roll.
yeah, that's not how you get around the track. Not fast way.
Now, it
Maybe a little
like
frustration there.
kind of looks like Frank was trying to shut that door a little bit, work his way up towards the top, and he just kind of pushed him up into the wall.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one there. And that's situational awareness. I've said that word a couple times. Guys just got to be patient on the starts here. Cautions like that probably shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. I'm not going to fault anybody on it, but Frank's spotter probably should have said car high. Maybe Frank should have stayed down low instead of thinking that he, I mean, I'm not obviously not in the car with him, so I don't know. Going off what maybe I'd see here is thinking that he's clear, and then, you know, Coffee had that run coming off the turn, obviously got into each other. And when I go back to, and I know Tanner and all this drives me crazy over stuff like this. We're on a restart. There's no need to be racing that hard on you know, restart. If you're, you know, that close quartered and you know you're faster, say like in Coffee's instance, he knew he was faster. Wait, let Frank have that position in front, you know, and then go around him. But maybe, you know, Coffee was frustrated by the incident he had before. It is short track racing, so yeah, you know. But, you know, I don't
tempers flare.
Yes, there you go. And I don't, you know, I don't call anybody out or anything. I know these are some times that some of the admins of race control here look at and go, guys, y'all been racing around each other long enough, you should know, you know, what to expect, how to expect. Sometimes you just gotta be patient, and if you're not gonna be patient and you're gonna constantly do it, then don't get mad when you do take yourself out of a race or you don't finish a lot of races all the time. Because that's just racing, I guess.
The word of the bird.
Yes. Carroll gets a jump out front. Pearson in second. Sexton hanging on the third. He's got Yo right there behind him. Carpenter are up to 6. Got Scotty Stevens back in 7th. Bell up in 8th. He's back there in 9th. Brian, Huar, yeah. Could just say Brian Ho. 10th. It'd be like, Joe, what's wrong with you?
Oh,
I can't.
I can't even read.
Get up with him one day. Carpenter's dead a little bit, still green. Seen that all night long. Or it gets out from under you and just gotta chase it down.
I think he's been the only one we've seen that's been able to keep it under wraps a little bit.
Oh yeah. Carpenter right here. There's Metler. Meanwhile, Carroll's up front, but he's got Pierce. They've actually walked away a little bit from Sexton here. Pierce is there, and you know, we saw this. Excuse me. We saw this a couple weeks ago. The bad thing is let me say it first, but we saw this a couple weeks ago that Carroll got out there, but then couldn't get away from the field. We saw guys running him down, but every time that they ran him down, they got into trouble, and obviously left Carroll out front. So again, I go back to, you know, you're fast, you're right there, and it looks like Carroll may be fighting it just a little bit. He doesn't make many mistakes. God, I hope he makes one.
That's all you need right now if you're Chase. You just need one little slip.
And it'll be easy to do on a track like this. If he can stay glued right there on that bumper, got plenty of time. He doesn't need to push the issue. Doesn't need to use up his equipment. He just stay right there with him, and you know, keep Carroll honest. Keep him looking in that mirror, and You know, make him maybe slip one time going into the turn. You know, he's peeking his nose down in there too, every once in a while. So, and it's keeping Carroll honest. Right there, you see him, you know, come off the turn a little bit harsh. Sexton back here too. Just riding his own racing in third. Yo, got his hands full with Marr. Looks like Tanner's found something.
Maybe it's a new wheel.
Well, he's getting, and he could be getting comfortable with it. You know, that's track could be coming in. You got to get a little bit of green flag running here. Tires are starting to feel better. You know, iRacing has a thing. You know, you got to build up heat. You know, and I know here, Alex, in real racing, just because you got new tires doesn't mean they got all the grip. You've got to get the heat up in them. Tire pressure's up before they start feeling good. But see, like right there, his spot, oh, and he got way wiggly, but his spotter right there before he made that pass probably told him he was clear, but you saw the closing rate was so fast that he didn't get clear. So it's good heads up on Tanner's part not to go all the way up the track. If he did, then Yo would have caught the rear end, sent him into the wall. Same with like Stevens, he was able to make the pass right there.
I'm not sure. I think Yo's got that good short run speed, but I don't think he's got the long run feel yet.
Yeah. Not unlike the two guys up here. Like Pierce has got a pretty good long run. Obviously, Carroll. Pierce is not falling off the pace. Normally what we see over time is if you have a long green flag run, if you haven't made that move on Carroll or any up front, usually starts to walk away. But looks like Pierce is able to hold on to it, you know, slightly. Not quite as fast as he was, but he is there still. There.
I've been checking on the ticker the last couple laps, and they've just been flip-flopping who's faster. I mean, last couple laps have just been by 100th of a second either way.
Yeah.
So these guys are dialed in.
Yeah, I mean, like that time right there was a 43 to 45. So, yeah. And 100s is only, you know, they're going to stay glued with each other. And just to give you an idea of what time-wise, as you see Zimmerman back there tearing the wall up. He's able to hang on to it. But give you an idea of time and what it takes to pass a car. You've got to be a solid 10th or more faster in order to get around a car. A couple hundreds is not going to get you around them. It's not even probably going to get you to their door. So just kind of to give you an idea of what kind of just when we look at the times, like right there, about a half a tenth, and you can see it gets him to his back bumper. But Pierce is going to have to be like, I'm going to say a solid probably 10th and a half, maybe close to 2/10 if he wants to get around Chase, or Carroll. And look to that outside now. Gets him on the outside, and right there, I got to give a heads up to Pierce. Pierce probably could have ran Carroll over. He got into the wall himself. Maybe try to slow up, but Carroll made that mistake. That was a mistake on Carroll's part. I think it was, I slammed the door up front.
Right, I think he's just Chase right here, just trying to make his mistakes as minimal as possible, being in the position that he's in. I mean, Chris Carroll's doing the same thing. They're both just trying to minimalize as much as possible. And I think you're right that how Chris made that little misjudgment and tagged the wall a little bit. I think Chris definitely, or Chase, Chris, blah, blah, blah. Chase could definitely just punted him right in the back end and sent him screaming for the fence or something, but he didn't. He just took it under himself to slow himself up too and go that way.
And it's been a good battle up here between them, and these two cars are so dead even. It's frustrating. Frustration. I'll get a word out in a minute. Frustrating as a driver because, like, Jason Pierce back here thinking he's just right there. I mean, he's right there. All I got to do is just go around him, but can't. I mean, because that last time right there, they were 100 different between the two. And they're just dead even. And I got a feeling this is going to come down. Let's say this is the last lap. It could come down to a bump and run if that's what Pierce wants to do. You know, then that's a whole new conversation too. Tanner up to fourth, man. Move. But that's a whole different conversation there, Alex. Do you want to do the bump and run? You know.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There you go. I mean, and you know me, I talk about it week in, week out. I'm all for that bump and run. Don't want a guy to wreck.
If it's done right.
Right, if it's done right, you know, and Tanner, you can see him right here. He's actually coming up pretty good. He's actually closing in on third place guy there, Sexton. I got to go back to this last race here at Martinsville, the real life race. Actually saw Joey Logano hit the back end of Byron. I think a lot of that is those cars have so much darn grip that you would have had to have hit a little bit harder on the bump and run than you used to. As opposed to like here tonight with these cars, it won't take much. You're going to have to be a little bit more careful because it won't take much to send a guy around as loose as these cars are.
Right, and I mean, that's like Joey Logano's go-to.
Yeah.
He's just a nudge a guy out, and he usually does a pretty good job of it too, like keeping it under wraps wise. Like he doesn't just send people into the fence. It seems like he judges it really well.
And I think what we saw there, like in real life, was those cars got so much grip that when he bumped him going into the turn, I think that's kind of what people saw too, was it didn't even upset Byron's car. And that's why they're like, well, I just killed short track racing with the new car in NASCAR. But as opposed to like here tonight, if you bump someone, these are like what would be the old style. You've got to do it right because that guy in front of you, yeah, he's going to have to fight that wheel. A huge nudge going into the turn is going to send him up the track and could send him around real easily.
Right, no, you didn't ruin short track racing. You just got to hit him harder.
Well, then you take then you got the other side of it. Can the car take it? I mean, you don't want to hit them so hard that you damage the whole front end of your car. You know, so I guess there's a fine line
these things are like
there.
These new cars are really durable, though.
Right. I mean,
these
you
ones
got,
here.
Yeah. Now, there's where thing. Chase can't afford many of those. That's just kind of overdriving, and that's where we see the difference between Carroll and a lot of the other drivers on the track. Does not make many mistakes. He hits that mark lap after lap after lap. Chase is fast. We know that. But we're starting to see Carroll now walk away. But he's going to as long as Pierce sits back there and keeps beating that wall down, tearing the side of the car up. Tanner here actually, for as much yelling as he was doing before the race, actually is doing quite well. Told me not to jinx him early on.
He's doing terrible.
Yeah.
You're doing terrible, buddy.
Yeah, terrible. You're yeah. You need to pick up some pace, Tanner. What's wrong with you?
I don't even want to look at your car anymore.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yo, man, it's Scotty Stevens around. Raymond, remember he got caught up in a wreck early? Back up to 7th. Coffee, unfortunately, out over here tonight. Hate that on his end because he had a good fast machine, too.
All right, yeah, I can see how that's super frustrating on his end. Just getting caught up with Raymond up there, and then right after, just getting sent into the wall again. Just will make your blood pressure go up a little bit.
It will. Yeah, you got a good fast car. Next thing you know, boom, wall, you're done. Like, really?
But I was doing so good.
Yeah. Still good battle right here between these two. This is for 3rd place here. Carroll and Pierce. They're maintaining.
Yeah, they're just
Wow, there
walking
goes
away.
Tanner for 3rd place. What Tanner's lap times are. He's not quite as fast as the leader. He ran a 22.75, which, I mean, well, they're not that far off. I mean, because Carroll just ran a 71. Pierce ran a 70. They were pretty much just back and forth with each other. Tanner's actually running. I mean, he ran an 88 that time, so he's about a 10. Did have to make the pass, so probably slowed him down. Tanner actually is running what it is, so it seems like the top 4 are all just like dead even. See Pierce here. He's been able to climb back on the back end of Carroll. Here's where he just needs to sit back and woohoo! Yeah, he drove that in there that time. He drives the wall though.
I don't think he wants to keep this battle going on much longer. I think he wants to be the one that has to be passed in this situation.
Well, what I'm also seeing is something that, Carroll looks like he is window driving a little bit. You saw him pull down on that inside. So maybe he is, right there searching around. Maybe he's a little bit worried that Pierce is going to, try to send it in or something. Carroll's not used to, a lot of times not used to having a guy, right there pressuring on his back bumper.
For as long as he has.
Yeah, for as long as it is, right. And it's only going to take one little bobble by Carroll. And either way, I guarantee you Carroll's going to be, oh yeah, I like this track, the car felt great. Oh, okay. Obviously, you're not as great at this track, or the track's just not giving you what you want it to give you. And they are maintaining out front. I mean, that last time right there, Carroll made some ground up.
And then it just flips to Chase getting it right back.
I know. It's like one time, man, Carroll faster, and the next time Chase faster. That's frustrating as a driver, too, because, like, doggone it. I mean, right there, he can put his nose. He just can't get that bike coming off the turn, though.
That was close.
Good heads up by Pierce. Pierce probably could have drove the whole side in right there and took him out.
No, he probably lifted just a touch right there.
Oh, yeah. That'd been like one of them last lap type of run. I mean, it's an awesome battle on the track. Let's see how far back. Tanner's got a little bit to go. He's about 6 seconds back here in 3rd. But I know this right here is a win for Tanner. Especially at the beginning of the race. I was talking to him in practice. Just struggling. So for him to even get up here to third, he's probably hooping and hollering, jumping up and down.
Is this the part where I'm supposed to go, boo, Tanner?
Yeah. Hang on to it, Tanner. Hang on.
Yeah.
But the best battle on the track's right here for the lead. These two guys. I don't know. I mean, now Pierce is right there. This is where. I don't know if he's going to be able to make that pass on the inside. I think it's going to take a bump in the road.
He's a caution.
Caution, though. All right. Oh, let's see what happened to him. I got a feeling coming out of the turn, just looped it. You can see right there, the car starts rotating even before he gets out of the turn. Perfect example of what I was talking about. Too much throttle. Now, this is probably what Pierce did not want to see. Tanner did. And wow. Pit stops. Top 3. Maybe fuel's a factor here. Tires. Now, you know, we normally don't talk about tires. Last week, though, tires actually made a difference. First time in many times. It might tonight with as slick as this track is. I'm going to tell you what, in real life right there would have been, officials would have told Carroll back that thing up because the whole front ends are hogs.
Discrepancies.
Yeah, I know.
Some guys taking 2.
Looks like Carroll took 4. He took 4. Yeah, he took 4.
Looks like Joshua and Scotty Stevens both took 2.
I'm going to sit back and say I don't know. We'll see if the tires here tonight is going to make a difference. Chase took 4. But we'll have to see if, you know, Mettler didn't pit, which why not? He was up back in the back. Might as well take a chance. We've seen this many a times. This could be the winning move. You know, I mean, it's only going to be about, less than 25 to go when we go back green. And in a short track like this, those laps will click off very, very fast if he gets out there in front of these guys. I am surprised that Tanner pitted. And unless they're thinking that the tires are going to make a huge, huge difference. We'll see. You know, Carroll took 4, Chase took 4, Tanner took 4, so the top 3 took 4. Sexton took 2, Stevens took 2, Mettler stayed out. Zimmerman looked like he just took 2. I'm all for that 2 tire stop.
Yeah, I think two might have been the move.
Yeah, and I think the reason I say is because if the car's tight going in, 2 tires is going to loosen it up going in. Problem is also going to loosen it up even more. But you can mitigate that coming out by not getting on the throttle as soon. Letting it rotate out of the turn. Post out. Although Mettler right here, really this is kind of the move he needed to make. And if it's anything we've seen in the past, could be the winning move. Because we don't know if anybody can come through the field. Now, Carroll could come blazing through these guys and pick them off like nothing, those new tires. So would Pierce and him. But then again, we've seen sometimes before, once you get caught back out behind guys, there's nothing you can do. Can't pass a lot, even with the new tires. But you see Sexton right there. I don't know why Mettler did not take the high side, as you see Tanner already in trouble in the back. And there's another product of. And then Carroll going to take it 3 wide. Mettler's going to have to get out of the way. Yeah. Well, why they let him have that outside lane?
It's just where he started.
Ooh,
Chase
Pierce
climbing
in
the
the
wall.
wall. Man, and that's not good. Side-by-side battle going on back here. Tanner gave up all that track position. Oh, and then just lost it out of the turn. Caution, we saw it right there. Wow. Yeah, I gotta go back. I can see, and I've said this a couple times, the only time that 4 tires or any tires will make a difference is if you're able to start second, third, or fourth. If you get marred back, I'm gonna say 5th on back, I don't think that it's a good move. Now, where Carroll's sitting at right now, yeah, not bad. And Pierce, too. But I think the fall off with the tires so huge here, you know, in these cars. We've seen it so many times. It's a conversation we have a lot. And even with Carroll right there, he wasn't, you know, he got up to second, but he wasn't able to run down Sexton.
Right, but if you're Sexton, do you take the outside just because it's the preferred lane? Because
I would. We just saw what happened to Mettler.
But Chris Carroll also has those new tires.
Well, even with the new tires, still got to play the track. And let's say, even with those new tires, we just saw right there, Tanner had brand new tires, and it looped coming out of the turn. So if he keeps him pinched down there on the low, let's say they're still side by side. If he keeps him pinched down low, more laps he stays down low, guess what? Going to use those tires up, and they're going to get slick. I would put him on the inside. I would put him on the inside.
Right, because Chase is starting on the outside lane.
I would, if it'd be me, yes. I would. As far as Chase goes back here, Chase has got to mitigate those mistakes. Quit hitting the wall. It's killing you. That is the one thing I can see, and obviously Sexton's doing an outstanding job tonight too, not having too many mistakes up there. But that's the biggest thing you see. Carroll doesn't have many mistakes, and Pierce just overdriving the car. He's got a fast car. He needs to realize that. What's the word I'm looking for? I know you got a sense of urgency, but don't panic yet. Which is easy to do.
Just don't bite off more than you could chew.
Yeah, it's easy to do. I mean, we can sit up here and talk. All right, man, don't panic, you know. But the laps do wind down pretty quick here. It is still a tough place to pass. I think I think unless Carroll just gets an outstanding run, and it looks like he's, don't understand why he would put him on the outside.
Maybe he's hoping he could jump in front of him with the start he gets being the leader.
Well, I mean, he's going to have to. I would not let Carroll stay on that outside lane, no matter what. Here we go, back green. Does get a great jump. Stevens right there with him. Now this is what Sexton wants to see. A little bit battle there with Stevens. And the more they battle, the more he stays out. And remember, only 15 laps. Go time. The Pierce right there behind him.
Right, and Zimmerman doing what he needed to do.
Yeah, and you can just see those tires too, and then right there's another thing, overdrive. You can just see even with new tires, it's not a given. They fall off so much, so you'll got to go back and question the 4-tire stop. We, you know, how many times have we talked about it, Alex? Man, tires don't pit. You know, you see Raymond back here trying to get back up, but tires don't pit. Now you're seeing, look at this. I mean, Scotty Stevens with 2 tires and Sexton with 2 tires, and they're holding off the guys with 4 tires. Because there's your 2 guys with 4 tires. And it's, as much as the drivers might sit and tell us, Carroll's fighting them. As much as the drivers might say, oh yeah, the car feels faster with the 4 tires. We're not seeing it. We're not seeing it now, boy. Pierce wants to put the pressure on him, and that was a pretty darn good move right there by Pierce, really.
Yeah, because now he's got other people to deal with up there.
Yes. Yeah, now he wants to push the envelope here with Carroll. 10 to go, go time. Still got to stay out of that wall, though.
Right. He's got a little bit more grip with the new tires, but
yes.
Still, just keep it easy.
Up and run still can come into fact. You see Scotty Stevens up here is kind of closed in on Joshua. We got a battle for the lead and battle for third and fourth. Yeah, I got to go back. I don't know how many times we got to say it. Don't pit. Don't pit. And if you're going to... Oh, and he got into him. And Pierce tried to stay off of him right there. Caution's out. Pierce saw... let's go back and we'll recap on that right there a little bit. Pierce actually got into him. Could have kept driving right through him. But... Oh, he got into him, let out. So hats off to Pierce right there, really. I got into him right there. Could have drove right through him, but then just let out. And then, unfortunately, Zimmerman was right there. And then, boom. Good news is I think Carroll held on to third. Sexton didn't want to see that caution.
Nope. Well, getting the jump that he's been getting, I think he'll be fine. But we'll probably go green with, 3 laps to go?
And I'm going to tell you what, Sexton might want to think about going high. Putting Stevens on the bottom to... Oh, never mind. Oh, Carroll. I think maybe Zimmerman might have got around Carroll on that one. It all depends on if Carroll stayed in third. If I'm Joshua Sexton. Carroll's in third. If I'm Joshua, I'm starting on the outside because that's going to put Carroll on the inside behind Stevens. Carroll, it looks like Carroll's going to be in third, but if he goes to fourth, then I'm going to the inside because I'm going to put Carroll on the on the outside behind Stevens, because I don't want to give Carroll that opportunity to get side by side with Stevens, even though I know Sexton might be thinking about, well, maybe those two will race. The problem is Carroll still does have better tires. And if he gets side by side on Stevens, there's that possibility he's going to get that jump by being on the inside with the leader.
Right, I'm smelling what you're stepping in, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, and it's technological game warfare here too, Tanner's back up to 8th. Been a good race though. We did have a long green flag run.
Yeah, that was what, 50 laps?
Yeah, so
Something like that.
Get several cautions there, a couple of them, then long green flag run. Here we go.
And then a couple here. And
It's not going to be green white checkered. It'll be close though.
I think it'll be 3.
About 3 to go. So it won't be official green white checkered, but it will be 3 to go. So it's essentially like a green.
Just plus
It'll be like a green white. And I just saw what Sexton did. Exactly what I was talking about. Put Carroll on the inside if he was in that way. Stevens is right behind him, and you can see Carroll got nowhere to go. These cars in, green flag.
Right, he's itching back there.
Yeah, that's a perfect. That's what Sexton wanted. Zimmerman's there. See those new tires.
Raymond,
look at that
right
outside
here.
lane. Caution. Now we're going to get...
But are they going to be single file?
I don't know. Bradley Carpenter and him just getting together.
Bumper cars, Joe. Drink Nos.
I don't think... I won't know. I mean, I'm not sure.
I feel like if it's a green white checkered, you don't go single file, but that's just me.
I don't think we completed a lap. That's going to be the telltale sign.
Joshua. I'm
On-
pretty sure he's one of the admins.
Yeah. Now, I'll say this. Josh was hoping that it's single file because that plays into his hand huge, especially on the green white checker.
I mean, you might as well put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah. The only thing is, if they didn't complete a lap, if it's still going off the short track rule, almost like what it is in dirt track racing, you don't complete a lap, then it is single file. We'll just have to wait and see what iRacing wants to do. Sometimes iRacing does iRacing do.
So you're telling me that this computer has a mind of its own? So this is Terminator.
Terminator actually was a robot. Skynet was
Well,
the actual-
Skynet.
Yeah, Skynet computer that. Come on, man. You don't know your history on that? I'm a Terminator for that.
Well, Skynet was in Terminator, so I'll take half a point on that at least.
Skynet designed the
So therefore,
he
Terminator
actually
is
designed
Skynet.
the T600, then he designed the T800, then the 1000, and it went on.
So all Terminators are Skynet. So I'll
Skynet
take
is-
3/4 of a point on that one then.
Oh.
I'll take all the points I can get. Who's that guy in the first Terminator movie? Lou Ferrigno?
That's the Hulk. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Good grief. Lou
That's
Ferrigno
that guy
played-
from.
Lou
That's the
Ferrigno
guy that's
played the
twins
Hulk.
with Danny DeVito, right? They're twins.
Yeah. Hey, look, Luke Ferrigno played the Hulk in the Hulk TV series. That's where he came from. Arnold Schwarzenegger was Terminator.
I know. I'm just playing with you.
Lord of mercy. Young people nowadays, folks. You know what I got to work with? And it looks like we are going single file about it.
I know my Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yeah. Love Terminator. Watched that movie probably 90 million times. All right, here we go. Now, this right here, this is what Joshua loves. If there's any better scenario, it don't get much better than this. Pace car's in. It's going to be like smooth sailing.
See ya.
Scotty Stevens back here in second. Let's see if Carroll can get on his back bumper. But first off, can we make it to the white flag? Make it official.
Raymond trying to work over Zimmerman back here.
It's in that battle. Get to the white flag. I always say it doesn't matter what they do, they can kill each other. And this is official here tonight. Joshua Sexton might steal this one here, but I don't know. Stevens is there. Does he put the bumper to him?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, here, if he's going to do it, he needs to do it here. And it looks like he's not going to, as Joshua Sexton's going to pull this thing off. Scotty Stevens spun earlier in the race, going to come home in second. Chris Carroll bring her home in third. And I'm going back on what we talked about before. Don't pit. Does not work. Again, we saw it right there. But how about Joshua Sexton? Wow. Good run
Pit
for
of the
him,
race.
man.
Those two
good
guys.
run for him, man. Awesome run. Let's bring third place man Chris Carroll and let's get a word with him.
Chris, it's your boy Alex up here. You got me?
I got you, Alex.
What's up, my dude?
Well, I finished third. I'm not too happy about it, but what can you do?
What was your decision behind 4 tires versus 2? Like those two guys?
Well, I thought the 2 tires would make it super loose. I also didn't take fuel, so I think I made myself really tight there. It would not turn when Scotty was underneath me. So I think those guys did a little research and they knew what they were doing there.
And then getting you and Chase duking it out for that long green flag run, man. That was exciting for us to watch up here. I mean, we were like, someone's faster one lap, and then the other guy's faster. It's like you two were just flip-flopping. Were you worried with them being there with you for that long?
Well, I'll be honest, Alex. I wasn't worried with him being there. I was saving my stuff for the end. I don't think I saved enough. I think there was a part of that run where he was a little quicker, but I was worried he was going to wreck me, and he did. So, I mean, what can you do about that?
I don't think you can do much, but still. Bringing her home third place after an awesome showing here tonight out of you. Anybody you want to give a shout out to or thank for this awesome race here tonight?
Yeah, I always got to thank you guys up in the booth. I got to thank Pit Lizard Performance Boys. I got to thank Brian Zimmerman and Larry Bell and Bradley Yo and all the guys that run with us at Pit Lizard Performance. Got to thank Josh. Congrats to Josh, man. That's so good for him to get a win. He's had a real tough season, and he did it right there, and he did it clean, and super happy for him. And got to thank Josh and Tanner and Raymond and all the boys that put this thing on, man. It's a great deal, but I owe Chase a couple now. We'll be finding him on the track in the next few weeks.
We'll keep it exciting for me.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, third place. Awesome showing here tonight, like I said. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for the great interview, Alex. Always fun, man.
Yo, Chris Carroll bringing her home in third. Well, this guy here, Scotty Stevens, brought her home in second. A good finish.
Scotty Stevens, it's Alex up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Alex.
Hey, what's up, man? How you feeling after that second place finish after some adverse events earlier?
Man, it feels great, especially to put a 5 Kings 1-2 a little faster than Josh there at the end, but had to play it like a team player there. Anybody but Josh, I think they would have got the bumper.
We were thinking about that. We were like, he got something for him, and then, I mean, you were there, but you didn't.
Yeah, I definitely had the faster car there at the end, but can't move a teammate like that.
Right, and that's always a good mentality to have. So let me dig in your mind a little bit and see what your reasoning and thinking was behind 2 tires versus 4, like those guys beating up a storm behind you.
Well, fall off wasn't really that bad. I think the fastest lap prior to taking those tires came probably about lap, 60 or so. Left sides wasn't worn down too much. Track position was huge. About the only way you could make a pass here is, do a slide job, throw it down in the corner and slide up on them. So basically, that's all it was. Get track position and try to hold them off. And to my surprise and to Josh's surprise, we both took 2 tires there. 2 tires was the way to go. I don't know what it was, but 2 tires were definitely faster than the 4 there at the end. I think you guys saw it on the broadcast that me and Josh was just walking away from Chris, and I think Zimmerman might have been on 2 tires, but Chris Carroll was definitely on 4, and 2 tires was the call.
Right, and did you think that they would have something for you being back there with a whole set of new tires, or once you guys saw it, you pretty much just ran with it, right?
Absolutely. Chris Carroll, he's always fast no matter where he goes. No matter his tire situation, he's always fast. So with 4 tires, that was back there, and I think on the first couple of restarts, him starting on my outside, it was very tough to get around him. And I was honestly very surprised when I didn't make the pass and started walking away from him a little bit. It's hard to beat somebody like Chris Carroll, especially when he's on 4 and you're on 2.
Right, and I was kind of seeing that whenever on one of those restarts, he kind of pulled up beside you, and then coming out of the turn, you just shot out of there and was able to secure that position. I kind of think that was that last restart too. So, anybody want to give a shout out to or thank for this awesome race here tonight, man?
Yeah, like I always got to thank Michael Falk at MF Racing Designs. That's an awesome looking paint scheme he's put out on that track. That black and gold just pops. Savage Edge Apparel, McConey Setup Shop, The Butt Kicker, Raise Energy, and BAM Racing Videos.
Heck yeah, man. Well, awesome showing here tonight. Congratulations. 2nd place finish. We're seeing you guys next week.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Did right there. Home. Back in here tonight with this guy, man, out of nowhere winning it. It's Joshua Joy in the booth, guy.
I hear you.
Man, I always say pitting is definitely a double-edged sword out here, but looks like those 2 tires worked out great. What was your feeling about taking 2 over the 4?
I needed to kind of make up some track position there a little bit, and I knew that the left sides really weren't wearing that bad earlier in practice. They were hardly wearing it all, so I figured they'd probably be pretty good, and I was getting tight over the long run anyway, so we could try to take 2 tires and get a little bit looser. So it worked out good. I was running my fastest laps of the race after the 2 tire change.
Oh, absolutely. You was holding out. Now, even after the pit stop, was you a little bit worried that the guys that took 4 might have been able to run you down, or Sexton was right there on your back bumper?
Yeah, I was. I kind of figured
Stevens, my bad.
Yeah, I kind of figured that they would be faster than they were. I didn't know that, we would be that evened out, But as soon as I think, obviously getting the track position and starting at the front, being able to control the restarts is obviously what's key. We had quite a few cautions there, so maybe a long run, their tires would have made a difference. But that's why, we only had 25 to go, so I figured can't hurt to take 2 tires, and it worked out.
Yeah, and you're right. And we've preached that a lot here in the broadcast because we've seen it. Pitting, like some people were like, "Hey, look, if you're out front, stay out front." And so forth. But hey, it worked out. You were sitting back there around 3rd, 4th the whole entire time, staying out of trouble. But man, came out here tonight, got that win. You got anybody want to thank for an awesome win and finish tonight?
Oh yeah, I just want to thank my 5 Kings teammates. Thanks to Scotty there, he raced me clean there at the end. He was a little bit faster there at the end, but only a few laps to go. But MF Racing Designs, McConey Setup Shop, Raise Energy, Savage Edge, and the Butt Kicker for all their sponsorship for the team. And again, thank you guys for calling it too. You guys do a great job.
I tell you what, good. Congratulations on that win again there, Joshua.
Thank you, sir.
All right, go Joshua Sexton, bring it home. And what a finisher him. And like he said, he said it. a lot of times you don't want to pit because it doesn't make the ground. Tires are not there, but it seemed like the 2-tire tonight was the call to make.
Right. To our surprise, they keep just smacking us in the face with what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
And
well, I'm gonna still
tonight,
hold
like
to
you s-
stay out. I'm gonna still hold to that one because that's usually been the winning moves.
I think we can stick to our bridges, but nevertheless, it was an awesome showing here tonight by these guys. Definitely kept it groovy and stuff at the end, making it exciting for us.
Yes. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed it. Like I say, some good short track action there for the Fire Kings Motorsports Crooked Line Racing here at Lucas Oil tonight. For myself and everyone, y'all have a good night.